everyone! In what has quickly become one of the most talked about and controversial moments within modern ministry circles, Pastor Joel Tudman has finally confronted Bishop T.D. Jakes over his shocking firing from the Potter's house. And the revelation has left countless churchgoers, leaders, and followers of both men stunned, questioning what really goes on behind the polished sermons and global influence of megachurches. Because while many had long admired Joel Tudman for his powerful preaching style, his fresh voice that resonated with younger generations, and his ability to connect deeply with people through his transparent testimony, the sudden announcement of his dismissal from one of the most influential pulpits in America raised eyebrows, sparked rumors, and ignited a wave of speculation. And now, with Tudman speaking out in a way that can only be described as raw and unapologetic, the world is beginning to see the cracks in the carefully curated image of Bishop T.D. Jakes' empire, as Tudman lays bare the tensions, disagreements, and ultimately the painful truth about his departure. A truth that forces us to wrestle with questions of loyalty, power, and integrity within the church. And according to Tudman's own account, the firing was not simply about performance or theology, but about deeper issues of control, hierarchy, and perhaps even jealousy, as he suggested that his growing popularity among members, his unique ability to draw large crowds, and his unfiltered style began to unsettle some in leadership, especially in an environment where image and brand are often treated with as much reverence as scripture. And while Bishop Jakes has long been respected as a father figure in ministry, guiding countless pastors and shaping modern preaching with his charisma and vision, Tudman's confrontation brings to light the painful possibility that even great leaders sometimes struggle to embrace those coming behind them, especially when their gifts shine too brightly. And in his impassioned statement, Tudman didn't hold back, recounting the moments where he felt marginalized, silenced, and even betrayed by those he once trusted as mentors. And yet his confrontation was not filled with bitterness alone, but also a call for accountability, a demand for the church to be honest about its flaws, and a plea for Christians everywhere to remember that ministry should not be about politics, favoritism, or protecting a brand, but about preaching truth and serving people. And as his words spread, many pastors, both seasoned and young, began weighing in, some siding with Jakes and defending his right to protect the structure of his ministry, while others openly praised Tudman for his bravery in addressing what they themselves had long felt but were too afraid to say, that within many megachurch structures, those who challenge authority or refuse to conform to a narrow mold are often quietly pushed aside. And what makes this confrontation even more explosive is that Tudman and Jakes were once viewed as spiritual family, with Jakes championing Tudman's rise and calling him a son in ministry, which makes the fallout even more heartbreaking. Because to watch a spiritual father and son relationship dissolve into a public confrontation reminds us that even in the church, betrayal and disappointment can cut deeper than anywhere else. And now, with Joel Tudman refusing to stay silent, the entire world is forced to confront not just the details of his firing, but the bigger question of how the modern church navigates ambition, succession, and power, and whether those in positions of influence are truly willing to share the stage with those God raises up after them. And as this drama unfolds, it isn't just about Joel Tudman versus T.D. Jakes, but about the heart of the church itself, a test of whether transparency, humility, and honesty can truly win out over politics, image, and control, leaving us with a sobering reminder that no matter how big the church or how powerful the pastor, the truth will always rise to the surface. And as Tudman bravely steps forward to confront Jakes, this may very well mark a turning point not only in his ministry, but in the entire landscape of American Christianity, because sometimes the confrontation we fear the most is the one that sets us free. Thanks for watching.